Hello students, welcome to the biology class. So today we are going to start a new chapter, that is the 10th chapter in your NCERT regarding cell cycle and the cell division. If you remember, I told you in the last class that if there are doubts with the previous lecture, that means the 8th chapter, please write down all those questions in the WhatsApp group which you have been added, because I am also a member in that group. So if there are doubts, I can be writing the answers there. I can deal with your doubts and clarify all your problems. So let's start with the 10th chapter now. In this chapter we are going to understand that what is the lifespan of a cell and what all happened to a cell during that cycle of its lifespan, and then what are the various types of cell divisions possible and why should a cell divide. It's good if you can go through the NCERT. This chapter is one of the most interesting and convenient chapter, and if this chapter is clear to you, a lot of problems of your 12th class would also be over. So let's hope that we will have a good time reading and understanding this chapter. So the chapter is regarding when do a cell decides that it has to divide. So the first thing is, a cell will divide only when a minimum growth has occurred, because we all know that once a new child is born, the child is not going to reproduce that easily and that sooner. Reason is, but the child has to go through some growth and development, and then only reproduction is possible. You know the concept of puberty. In the same manner, a newly born cell or a newly formed cell is not going to divide so fast. It is, first of all, it is going to have some amount of growth. So a minimum growth, once a minimum growth has been attained or performed, after that growth only the cell can divide. And second reason why a cell divide, or when can a cell, we can think of a cell to divide, is when its surface to volume ratio is disturbed. Now, what is the surface to volume ratio? To do that means maths topic to do into this concept. The reason is that if you draw a cube of 1 centimeter dimension, you all know the formula of surface area and the volume. And if you draw that same type of cube, now 5 centimeter is the dimension, so you will find that when you use the calculations with the 1 centimeter and the 5 centimeter type of cubes, you will find the surface area of a 1 centimeter dimension cube and the 5 centimeter dimension cube is not so much variable ratio. But when you will find the volume, you will find that the volume of the 5 centimeter dimension cube is increased a lot, but there is a very minimum type of increase in the amount of the surface area. Why I explained this concept is that initially when a cell is newly formed, it has a great surface area. Now we all know that cell membrane or the membrane or the boundaries which surround a cell play an important role in metabolism. Reason, like when we obtain food from outside. So in the same manner, when a cell is respiring, it takes oxygen from outside. When a cell is performing nutritive processes, it is obtaining food from outside. So there has to be a communication going on through the surface into the cell or outside the cell. Now when the volume is small, surface area is sufficient, but as the volume starts to increase, the surface area does not increase to the same proportion. So a time will come, the cell will feel that the volume is too big and surface area is quite small comparatively, and the cell find it is tough to control or to efficiently perform all the activities in a great volume and a small surface area. So the cell finally decides that the cell should divide. It is something like when a big building is there and principal is one, then sometime what happened, the principal is not able to control the activities of a big building, so obviously you may have floor in charge. So similar type of concept, when a cell find that the volume is too much, it is not possible to control the functioning of the complete volume, so the cell decides, let me divide into two, so that the volume now get reduced and surface area would be sufficient to perform all the activities effectively. Next reason is nucleus to cytoplasm ratio, or it is also called in some of the books or internet also as the kernplasm. Kern word is used for the nucleus. Kernel, if you remember kern, and the plasma word is used for the cytoplasm. So in the same manner, now when a newly formed cell is there, its nucleus is going to be it, because its cytoplasm is also small, nucleus is small. But when a cell grows very big in size, the cytoplasm has grown very much big, but the nucleus has also grown, but the growth is nothing compared to the increase in the size of the cytoplasm. So once the cell finds that the nucleus dimensions are small and are not able to control all the activities of the cytoplasm, at that time also the cell decides to divide. So when do a cell divide? First point is when minimum growth has already occurred. Second thing, when the surface to volume ratio is disturbed. Or third thing, when the nucleus to cytoplasmic ratio is disturbed. And fourth reason, when can a cell divide? When some stimulus is there. Now stimulus here is the mitogen. Mito word means mitosis or to divide, and gen means to produce. So there are some factors which are able to cause a cell to undergo division. If you remember your 10th class, you have learned about plant hormones. You learned about cytokinin. So cytokinin is a plant hormone which can cause a cell to become active so that the cell enters into division. Now, in the case of animals, such type of straightaway functional hormones have not been discovered. But yes, there are growth factors which have been discovered by scientists, like platelet dependent growth factor, lymphokines and epidermal growth factors. These factors, when are available, the cells will start dividing. But just like in the case of plant cells, particular hormones are there, such thing have not been discovered so far. Now the next thing is the importance of cell division. Now why should a cell divide? So it's very easy concept. Even in junior classes you have been doing. Like for example, we all start our life as a single cell zygote, but are we single celled? No, we are multicellular. So to add volume to the human body, we need to add more number of cells. So by cell division or mitosis, zygote has given rise to somewhere around 10 raised to the power 14 cells in the adult human body. Such a great number is only possible to be achieved if there is cell division. Now next thing, when we meet in accident or if there is an injury and all, then repair is required, healing is required. We all know HCl is there in our stomach, and that can cause the problem to your cells of the stomach wall. Similarly, you are taking bath every day, skin is getting shed, so the cells have to be replaced. The cells have to